All right, what an unexpected turn of events we've had here at WCS Europe, as we now have on the line with us first place finisher here in Group G. It is LiveZerg. How are you doing, man?
I'm fine.
Fine.
Right now I just feeling awesome for me.
I mean, I got to ask the simple question to start us off. Did you expect to be able to advance out today's group?
No, I didn't expect. Two Koreans, they play really good.
Europe holding.
Europe holding, that's true. All right, so let's go to the games in general. The Roach Hydra style you were playing with against them, is it something that you prepared specifically for them, or were you just kind of like winging it based on seeing mech, for example?
Roach Hydra, I played Roach Hydra only versus 4GG because I saw mech, and I was expecting something mech bio, because he played on ladder like this, but I think it's too weird and weak strategy, because I had 3-3 upgrades and he only 2-0, so he can't win any fight, even without Vipers.
That is true.
And he didn't really practice mech at all, so I was...
It's okay.
It's okay, take your time.
I was too lucky that he played mech against me in second game, and our growth is imbalanced map for Zerk, I think.
All right,
So
well...
That's what I win, why I win.
Congratulations on the round of 16 placement here. Now getting into the round of 16, you obviously must feel the weight taken off your shoulders now you're in there. Are you just going to go in and give it your best and try and go as far as you want to go, or do you actually have like a goal you'd like to achieve in the WCS?
I think it's better to relax for me, because I was relaxing after I got into Ro32, and it's better for me. I don't nervous much in games.
So much
and
prefer
play
to be
better.
the underdog here.
Earlier, about a year or two ago, I was so nervous. I tried to play best, always practicing a lot, and it gives not results at all. So it's better to relax and play.
You're in the round of 16, so congratulations on that. And of course, thank you for the interview. I knew a little bit nervous about your English, but it's perfect.
My English is bad right now, and because I'm nervous now. Worse than it could be.
So that pretty much wraps things up, LiveZerg. Is there anything you'd like to do, like shoutouts, for example?
I want to thank my new team, Vega, and sponsors. So there's help me with practice right now, and giving me opportunity to grow, I think, because there is no more teams in Russia, or the European teams didn't pick up Russian players at all, so I found a team and I can practice, keep practicing. So when Rox dropped their SC2, I can practice now.
Awesome. Well, I mean, they picked up the right guy by the looks of things.
Thanks.
So congratulations,
Sorry
man.
for bad English.
No, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Well, we're looking forward to seeing you in the round of 16, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah, see you in Germany soon enough.
See you.
Bye-bye. All right. So, LiveZerg finds himself in first place today. Even he didn't expect that to be, and I know a lot of you others didn't either. But now it's where the group gets interesting.
Yeah.
3 Terrans. Dayshi has an uphill battle, to say the least, but I think one of the most important parts, either 4GG or MMA is not coming to Germany for the round of 16. That is pretty crazy to think about.
I mean, if the stars align, it could even be both of them. But I think we're giving 4GG and MMA a little bit of an edge here over MMA. Over Dayshi even. Yep. Dayshi's got that mountain to climb, as you said. So we're getting now into our 4th series of the day. And unfortunately for one of these players, their road in the round of 32 ends here.
Does MMA drop out in last place? Does Dayshi drop out in last place, which some are expecting to happen? Can he make the comeback possible? Well, he's lost versus 4GG. Now it's time to fight another Terran, and it's not going to be easy.
All right, let's get into it. Overgrowth is our map, as we have spawning down to the bottom left-hand corner our blue Terran representing Millennium. It's Dayshi. And then a man who didn't expect to find himself here, up to the top right-hand corner, representing Team Acer, it's MMA.
Whew. All right. Second half of the show today. MMA needs to find his way back into the decider to fight for GG. And that series would prove to be epic. But Dayshi stands in his way. He's had a bit of a warm-up already against 4GG. And some say that this technically could be an easier game for him. But one thing with MMA, in Terran versus Terran, and it is so true, he can play anything, any style. He used to be a guy who would play Banshees every game and get 20-odd kills every game. He can play bio, he can play mech, he can play a mix. It doesn't matter. This guy can do absolutely anything here, and it makes him incredibly diverse and very, very difficult to stop.
Yep. Dayshi, you were mentioning that he had the warm-up before, and oh boy, was that a warm-up. Now, will that move him forwards a little bit here? It's still going to be a tall order against MMA. And MMA actually opened up gas first during all of this. So
yes, he did. So taking a page out of the previous Terran vs. Terran book, but we have Dayshi opening up 12 barracks, 12 gas, Reaper. Reaper's a good setup. It's good scouting-wise. He's actually sending out an SCV here in case he's playing against a Reaper of MMAs, or if he's playing against 2 barracks Reaper. These builds are very awkward if you don't know they're happening. And for example, your Reaper's on the other side of the map and one comes in immediately into your base and so on and so on. So it is good to find out what you are playing up against. And from here on out, he will be looking at a pretty decently timed command center. It should be like a Reaper into reactor, into command center and factory. Whereas Dayshi, MMA on the other side of things, fast factory, which is scouted really early on here. So the SCV should leave, and the Reaper will be looking to get in there. Is it second gas? Is it not? Can I find a way to kill an SCV or wear down a Marine? Can I slow this from happening?
Yeah, I mean, seen instantaneously is at least a little bit of nice information there for Dayshi. So, actually, MMA, wow, scouting around with this SCV a little bit further to the left-hand side.
Does not want to be facing against any barracks and Reapers over there.
Yeah, very, very cautious opener here from MMA in that regard, at least, in terms of the scouting. But that's fine, because MMA now is in a position where he didn't expect to be. So you can guarantee there's going to be a lot of caution out of him.
Oh, man. I'm just getting all excited. I love Terran versus Terran. We're going to have a couple of them now in a row. And I'm excited to see which one's going to go through in second place.
So am I, man. This is
a cool move, by the way. Unluckily, there is a third Marine, which shuts this down.
Yeah.
So it was a nice attempt, but unfortunately, at least he kind of salvages the situation, gets up Marine.
Yeah, I went back for the revenge there. There's a Hellion now moving out as well, so he's going to have to be a bit more careful with this Reaper as the second one makes its way over as well. And got to control this well against this.
Yeah.
Runs away.
It's okay. He's chasing these down with the Hellion, but if these 2 Reapers can meet up, they can start to take on the Hellion, but it just depends on where the Marines are.
Yep.
This is a cool push, counter push, and there should be a second Hellion. Oh, no, never mind. I was going to say, because this is a little bit difficult to deal with if you don't have anything else other than 2 Reapers, but...
It's quite far out now.
It's okay. Daishi's got more than enough time here.
All right. Well.
So faster command center for Dayshi, much faster. But then MMA is going for Banshees, which he'll be looking to do damage with, whereas on the other side of the things, I wouldn't be surprised. Dayshi showed it earlier how he liked to play against this, which was turrets and Vikings. Maybe he does the same here again.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, there's the engineering bay, so... Turret Viking defense. And a mine as well. That's cool.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I do like the mine incorporation, especially if you put it in an arbitrary location where the Banshee just gets clipped by it, which can happen. And you can, from Daishi's point of view, you can probably anticipate that with the timing that you saw on the factory in the Hellions.
Yeah. MMA's command center is just about to be placed down, so he knows he's behind in terms of economy, but he also knows he has to do a bit of work with these Banshees. Well, let's see if MMA can... play as we used to know and love him for, which is this Banshee control and getting the kills down, because the Vikings almost out. There's a mine. A mine hit and a couple of turret hits on that natural, that Banshee's dead. So
yeah, he's
got to be very careful and control and watch this if he's around that natural area.
Let's check out the vision of MMA here as this Banshee now flies on in and see what he can see, because he's going to have to be careful, that's for sure. Sees a missile turret in the middle. Sees that Viking.
Cloaks up, but there's a turret. He's swinging around to the natural. He's got to be careful.
Yes, he does. And
that mine repositions. Okay.
It's going to be a little bit difficult. He has to go around the other side. But again, I think the missile turret's enough with that Viking as well just to deter for now.
Good defense. Very good defense.
Yeah, really lost not too much at all.
Yeah, one SCV, that was it.
And with the command center being a little bit quicker for him, everything is looking rosy here so far for Dayshi.
Where's this Widow Mine?
Ooh. Okay, so
if there's a follow-up push that catches, you know, a lot of Marines, splash damage.
Yep. Widow Mine was the reposition one from the mineral line, so not really going to get a whole lot done there.
And there's a lot of Hellions on the way from Dayshi.
Yes, there is.
He is going to play mech.
All right. Well, Reaper's going to try and go somewhere. Where are they going with these Hellions? To them back in the mineral line?
I like a lot of Hellions here. If there is a push coming out from MMA and that Widow Mine does damage, and then the Hellions come and follow it up, he will crush a push.
I think he just dodged out of the way of that Widow Mine there. I didn't catch it, but
7 SCV lead.
It's pretty sick.
7 because of how well he defended against the Banshee play. MMA is behind. Not a pretty sight for the Golden Boy. But Dayshi, very good for him. Very good for him. You remember there's still an option. There's still a chance, even though it is a lot lower than not, that we have 2 European players advance over 2 Koreans here.
It's true. It's very true. Group that a lot of people were calling clean cut is now completely shaken up.
Yeah. MMA's taken the 3rd command center, by the way. I think it's a very smart choice. A lot of people do this when you go gas first into Banshee and don't get damage done. You get this 3rd in quite fast and you can catch up with the economy, because that's really the only major thing he's behind in. But I can see that he's going to play bio with all these barracks and double engineering bay against mech. So a classic bio versus mech style. And I love mech.
Yeah.
It's very strong.
This kind of clash of styles as well is so much fun to watch, because we're looking basically to MMA to be the guy who's the mobile one. He is the guy who's going to be trying to drop everywhere. Dayshi needs to hunker down and receive that aggression.
And I love the mass Hellion here too from Dayshi. Blue Flame. 3 factories. Great. He's got a good Hellion count.
Tries to poke in, but gets clipped by a siege tank there. And the Banshee also poisoning to
he's
do
got
a bit of
map
damage.
Control. It's overall a good start here for Dayshi. Single armory is being built just for a +1 attack. And also, as mentioned before, when we talked about Hellions, these guys can transform soon. Hellions are not going to be useful or that useful once combat shields and marauders and good tank counts added in. Only useful for run-bys. But Hellbats, oh boy, you want those bad boys.
And look at this. MMA is looking to go for a bit of a pincer-like move with these Banshees, but I don't think he's going to get a whole lot done unless he can find some SCVs on this gas geyser. But the missile turret's in range to give that Viking vision, so it's going to be difficult for MMA to really do anything with these again. Maybe he should wait around until the 3rd was taken or something, but we'll see.
Yeah, turrets in both positions is going to be hard to break.
It's going to try.
But I mean, I like the way that MMA has this greed set up too. And he is getting a couple of SCVs down in both the corners of the
good angles he's finding.
Yeah, one Banshee's going to get taken out and then in the main. Yeah, this double engineering bay play for MMA is going to be great. Imagine he's 2-2 soon if he gets that armory down. 2-2.
Right down.
Just +1 attack on the way for Dayshi.
Finds this Banshee down to the bottom right, cleaning that up, alleviates a little bit of a thorn on his side. And we see a scan being dropped. And he does confirm all of his suspicions, really, of the bio play now ensuing.
But with Dayshi not playing a double armory and a super greedy play from himself, he does have quite an active force, as you can see. 5 factories worth of units.
It's a big army.
It's a big army. He can switch all these Hellions into Hellbats, remember, as well.
I don't think MMA really has the firepower to fully hold off of the brunt force of that for now.
No, not. I don't. It's at 1-1 upgrades, which is nice. But a couple of point defense runs going to nullify a lot of these Marauders.
Yeah.
The Hellions are in crazy numbers.
Got to be careful. He's actually going to push in with this. He drops a Seeker missile on a lot of that. It's going to catch a lot of that bio, actually. And it does a lot of damage. 2 Seeker missiles trying to chase down that army, though. Separates the Hellions off. Loses the siege tanks during all of this, and the Hellions themselves aren't really doing a whole lot.
That's well held.
Yeah.
Wonder if the Seeker... I mean, the Seeker missile was good. He launched 2, didn't he?
I think it was just 1 onto that siege tank there. But then the other side, MMA launched 2 towards the Hellions and only clipped 1.
But point defense drone could have been better there. I'm not sure.
Soaking up a lot of those Marauders, you're right.
Yeah, there was a couple of other ways to go, whether it be Hellbats, Marauders being nullified. But MMA holds on.
That was an angry Widow Mine.
Yeah, I like the aggressive stance Dayshi's taking. Zelnoga Tower's his. Forward base his. Going to be a lot more assertive, marching up north with his main force.
The Hellions just going to push this way in the middle of the map. If those were Hellbats, do you reckon that engagement would have gone better for Dayshi?
It's hard to say, but I think Hellbat and also Point Defense Drone could have worked better than it did.
All right, well, Dayshi's going to try and go for the double Hellbat drops anyway on left and right-hand sides.
Nice. That's really nice. He's got tanks actually stuck in his main, but think about that after.
Missile turrets have only just been built. So these guys get in completely uncontested, especially at the third base. Ooh.
Still no further upgrades for Dayshi, while 2-2 is halfway completed for MMA. I think that's quite important to keep in consideration here.
Oh, jeez. Okay, he almost lost quite a clump of SCVs there, but did get fended off.
Finally going to deal with this. MMA has a nice window down this bottom right. If he stims into the natural or drops on the natural. Very little there.
He's going to pull back, actually. There was a... Yeah, you're right. There was a window, but Dayshi...
He doesn't know it, of course.
Yeah, Dayshi's just set up in the middle. I think he may have just been looking for the third down there. He does know that there's... Sorry, I mean the fourth or something like that. Would that have been crazy? As Dayshi, with his third over on the left-hand side, is well set up.
Yeah. I like Dayshi's Viking count. It's going to be very nice keeping the Medivac count down low, especially because a lot of this army from MMA is low anyway. And here comes a push. MMA's got an army size on this left that is going to be pretty difficult to deal with depending on where they are.
Very weak in terms of the health on those bio forces. Oh, bit of lag. It's not me. A success.
New season, don't worry.
Yeah, new season. It's not allowed this season.
Oh, tanks in very awkward positions.
Oh, actually, on this left-hand side, a lot of that bio is taking big damage. MMA is plummeting in terms of supply. Hellbats get dropped on the siege tanks on the left-hand side. He's not actually unloading one of them. MMA took a lot of losses during that. So did Dayshi, though. But again, if he'd have unloaded another, it'd have been okay.
But I think bio trading off is a bit better here. But
yeah,
you know, is it traded off though? Because there is still quite a supply lead here for Dayshi.
If he rallies forwards,
he's going to take a fourth, and there's no way to stop Dayshi's momentum right now.
Yeah.
If you think about it, there's been no real drop harassment from MMA. There's been nothing to slow him down, so I do like Dayshi's position.
And he's only got one medevac, so he can't even do that if he wanted to.
This is a really good position for Dayshi.
Yeah, the Vikings are going to land because he realizes his opponent isn't contesting the skies at all. Dayshi has taken a 40 supply lead. Nice little flank there, though, for MMA to catch a few of those siege tanks.
Dayshi is making it work against his worst matchup, which is Terran versus Terran, and MMA's in trouble. MMA's going to lose position on his third now. He does not have enough to stop these tanks sieging up there. He takes a fourth at the same time.
He has very little army at all. This is really bad here for MMA. These two siege tanks are going to try and hold the line. One of them falls, though. The Hellbats walk forwards. Two of them are in the mineral line, starting to work on the SCVs. Yeah. And regardless of what Dayshi does, even if he got pushed back, he's done a lot of damage to the economy.
MMA's only on 5 barracks, which is a little bit low for this stage of the game. And he's dying off. He's dying off right now.
Yep. Dayshi is making this work, that's for sure.
And even if Dayshi loses all these tanks, it's fine. He can rebuild. He's dealt damage to his opponent's economy. He's up with a fourth base and just needs to sit back and rebuild an army. The problem that can happen here is Dayshi falls back into his traditional style of playing bio, and he plays the bio style with mech, if that makes sense. Parade pushes. That's what he doesn't want to do. Just sit back, rebuild, then go again with an unstoppable force, rather than a force that, with a coin flip mistake, can lose. You can lose it. So
yeah, and I've got to say, you know, the initial control of this watchtower on the left-hand side, plus him always pushing along this angle, and MMA never really having full vision of what's going on down that way, has been really hurtful for MMA. He has to receive these armies as they get right on top of him. He didn't know about this until just now.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Very good position for Dayshi.
Fantastic. I mean, MMA is going to try and come in from all sides, which could try and overwhelm this eventually, but with the siege tank set up like this, it's going to be pretty cost-effective for him.
All right.
Here comes the push. Trying from every single angle. Catch some of those siege tanks in the middle. The Hellbats weren't there to buffer. Will deal with this eventually, but he loses a lot of his army in trade.
MMA hangs on again. Just cast your mind back to MMA versus MC on Yonsu last season, if you can remember that. He made comebacks possible, and he started to do it here a little bit. That was a nice fight. Nice surround, and he didn't lose any economy, really.
Come back so
and
much
now 3 Marauders. I think the MMA just got slapped a little bit there and was like, wake up.
Yeah, he's going to have to.
Now we have a drop on the left, and he has established a 4th base. Likewise has the mech, but mech, Dayshi has a 5th. Is he going to take the gold? He can take the bottom right. It doesn't matter which he takes.
He just keeps going.
All right, 3 Marauders on this left. That's a nice move here. It buys MMA time, but also we do have double drops coming in for Dayshi.
Yeah, those Hellbats going to cause a lot of problems. Those Marauders get picked up and get right on out of there. Gets killed off on the 3rd base, so not really doing a whole lot, but at the 4th.
Yeah, he gets his way in.
All right, he's killed 35 workers this game. That's really good here for Dayshi. There's no brakes on his train. Jeez. All right, just keeps
MMA
going.
throughout all of this hasn't really found time to get the +3 armor. He did get +3 attack, by the way, but not armor. Would have been nice. But we do have +3 attack about to finish for Dayshi. Whew. Intense game here. As MMA still alive somehow, some way. Doing okay with income, but army supply heavily in favor of Dayshi now. He's moving out with another large force.
And how do you stop this one? How do you stop it?
This is a lot more powerful than the last couple, that's for sure.
Hellbats continue to be dropped in this mineral line, trying to get some workers. Only got 3. Now we see MMA has spotted the 5th base down to the bottom right-hand corner. He's got to know he's in a lot of trouble. He sees this army moving forwards. Daishi's mech play is looking to put a chokehold on MMA as the bio trying to keep itself alive for a second. And Dayshi, though, he is on the warpath. This is scary here. As MMA.
Yeah, he holds his Zelnaga tower, which means MMA can't move from that, otherwise he loses a 4th, and because of the army is so big, Dayshi can go to the left too. Yeah. And he's going to take this, and there's nothing MMA can do to stop that.
MMA has to try and now wiggle around the right-hand side of this map and do some damage there himself. He's almost going for an effective base trade situation. Yeah. Don't know how well this is going to work out for him, though, against this meching player who has more bases than him, more locations.
Gee. Yes, he does.
All right, well, bye-bye Command Center very soon.
Likewise traded.
All right, but Siege Tanks are going to hold the line.
A couple of Hellbats, Siege Tanks going to hold the natural here for Dayshi. But MMA still mining from that base on the right-hand side, and if he picks off this bottom right, then he does hurt Dayshi a lot with his income, but Dayshi with this super amount of units still around.
Yeah, I mean, MMA without any Vikings in the air is constantly having to scan the middle of the map because he needs to hold. He needs to hold that location somehow, some way.
Well, another base goes down for Dayshi.
All right, that's the start of a comeback here in essence for MMA, but he's going to be starved out pretty soon as well.
Uh-oh, Daishi's making a move in the middle. He sieges up a little bit closer, and MMA goes for it as he was unsieged.
Oh, a lot of that bio takes a massive bombardment from these siege tanks. Not that cost-effective at all. Needs to bring his army from the right-hand side here. Try and get on top of these siege tanks a little bit, but in the middle, on top of the high ground, Dayshi, the rest of Daishi's army is amassing.
Yeah, and now MMA is not mining from his natural, and he's lost the right-hand side, sorry. Dayshi.
He's going to shut this down. This bio play, this push from MMA. There you go, GG. Dayshi takes the first game. And guys, our WCS Europe finalist from last season is now 1 game away from ultimate elimination here in the Premier League.
And everyone can just imagine MC sitting there with his chair kind of a little bit back, and he's slouched in, just eating popcorn, smiling.
Yeah.
Because the guy he's played in the finals for the last couple of times is facing elimination in the round of 32. MMA's flown all the way from Korea to Germany to play his games tonight, so there's no latency issues. And Dayshi now, you know, is turning things around for himself.
I mean, you bring up a very good point about MC here, because the MMA is one guy that can compete and contend with MC. We've seen it in the past 2 finals of those two going up against one another. If MMA is to go out in this position in 4th place, he doesn't only miss out on another round of 32 in the next season of Premier League, guaranteed, but he drops down to Challenger in a place where he's no longer in Premier now, and then MC has free reign to just be like, haha.
It is a big plummet for MMA. If you think about his rise in the WCS, round of 16 to round of 8 to semi-final to 2 finals. That's his road, just consistently increasing, and then of course, you know, get to finals 2 times in a row. You can look at the win and the loss as a decrease there, but to go out in the round of 32 is a big plummet here. Daishi's fighting for another round of 16 placement. He had it last season. It's not going to be easy. We've said that all day, but he's currently leading against MMA, he would need to beat 4GG next, who is the ultimate boss for both of these, whoever makes it through, to find themselves in second place. Whew.
I mean, in terms of Terran versus Terran, there is no more terrifying prospect other than facing 4GG in the next game. You know you have to go through this TVT. 4GG's watching this TVT, and then you have to play him. It's
4GG's already there, said, I know already how to beat you.
Yeah.
I've just seen you play. I've already seen 10 holes, and you can exploit every one.
He can. All right. We're just waiting for Dayshi now. He's taking a minute or two to compose himself here.
I think I would as well. I would be saying I won a TVT. I'm leading against MMA, who, remember, in the group of Terrans last season, MMA, MVP, Bunny, and then Vortex, the odd one off there. MMA was able to advance in seconds, beating out Bunny and MVP. Showed his Terran versus Terran skills are excellent, but right now Dayshi's the one who's leading. One map, and France gets an opportunity to have a second player in the round of 16.
Yes, they do. The adopted son of France still doesn't count as a French player for GG, so you can't take him. Sorry, guys. And now we are just waiting. So, but already, what a day it has been. What a day. I just did not expect this at all. Lives are going through in first place if you're just tuning in now. Spoilers again. But it's been crazy.
Spoilers on a live show.
I like doing that.
Told
it's
you
fun.
this last time.
Spoilers, guys. Love it.
It's like, all right, here's another example, Kalaris.
Yeah?
It's 70 minutes in a football match.
Yeah.
The current score is 2-0. You're like, all right, if you're tuning in, spoilers, it's currently 2-0.
But the score's up in the top corner, I think. I don't watch football, right? It's there. I know a lot of people are probably angry at me now for not watching football.
We're in
but
the losers match of this group. Getting ready to see who's about to play 4GG.
I really enjoy doing it.
It's difficult to spoil this.
All right, fun times, fun times. Let's get into it, guys. Ignore Sean for now, as we have game number 2 on the way. Frost is our map, spawning down in the bottom left-hand corner. Our blue Terran representing Millennium, currently 1 game up. It's Dayshi. And up to the top right, we have our red Terran representing Acer on the verge of elimination. Oh my god, it's MMA.
I wonder if Dayshi falls victim to... It's weird to describe it as like a word, but when you're in this position against a player who you really respect, you think in your mind you're not meant to beat him, and then the thought comes across, 1 game, and I beat him properly, 2-0. If I play him straight up, I may lose. We're going to game 3. Doubt sinks in. Does Dayshi plan to end this one fast? And if he does, and it doesn't work, does he crumble because of it? I mean, I'm really want to see if he falls victim to that kind of thought process where he does just try to end it super fast.
Well, considering what we saw from Dayshi in the past on this map just before, he's already changing things up. He's already not like really going for the full-blown, I have to do something wacky and then hope for the best. So at least he's not really throwing caution to the wind.
From a Reaper build like this, there are 2 base attacks which are very heavily all-in.
Yeah.
Like 3 factory heavy Hellion. Just lots of Hellions to break through. There's the tank pushes and so on. So there are avenues he could go down, but so far we'll see. Refinery first again by MMA. Every single TVT we've seen today involving Koreans has been gas first. And with MMA having practice on the Korean server recently, and then if you think about it, 4GG doing it on the European server, 4GG is ahead of the curve. Because MMA is bringing the builds from Korea, and 4GG was already doing it.
We know the metagame.
He already knows. Will Dayshi scout properly? I don't think so, because the Marine's already on its way.
Yeah. It's going to be difficult to ever get in there.
Yeah. He won't know this is gas first.
Which is a little bit of a shame for him.
But the Reaper could find out, which is the good part.
He could. He's going to have to go up to the top left-hand corner, though, unfortunately, to find out where his opponent is. And then head on over there afterwards, because this SCV is certainly not getting up to that top right before the Reaper gets up to the top left.
It's crazy to think. I mean, all the MMA fans watching now, and I know there's a lot of them, He's facing elimination. He needs to turn it around. Second gas down. Factory going to finish up. So looks like we are going up towards Banshee again. And it got 0 results last time.
Yeah.
It just didn't do anything. And Dayshi took a natural lead, 7 SCV lead. By the time they both started expanding and mining from the second base, 7 SCV difference.
And unless MMA spreads his Marines out after this SCV goes down, that Reaper could easily get all the intel it needs. So he's going to have to be careful. Very careful.
All right, well, Reaper's going to jump. He's going to spot this no matter what. I mean, MMA's got no idea it's a Reaper opening. So this is good for Dayshi to start the thought process, and it's good to see it nice and early. He's all right, cool, same again. So I'd be expecting him to do the same again. So starport for Viking, engineering bay down for turrets. Maybe gets the Widowmine again. But he knows if he does what he just did, and MMA continues to do what he just did, then it's easy for him. 7 SCV lead.
Reaper pops in as well. Once again, try and poke around.
He kind of got stuck to the refinery there a little bit.
Yeah.
Wasn't able to get the kill, but he sees no additional tech labs or reactors on the barracks and factory, which is a good scout, so he knows it's going to be, or should be, command center following this up.
There's the engineering bay being planted down as well for Dayshi, along with the Widowmine as well. So again, if he is lucky and he gets the connection with that Widowmine on a random stray Banshee, then that'd be crazy. He actually went just up the ramp with that Reaper. You crazy man. No one does that. Oh well. And MMA certainly didn't anticipate that, but there you go.
Yeah. MMA knows he's probably playing against the same again. He switches.
Yeah.
Banshee, then Raven. And I think, by the looks of it, if he switches the Tech Lab and Reactor after Cloak, he'll be doing the same thing as VorGG does. So the factory on the Tech Lab for tanks, the starport on the Reactor for Vikings, could go down that pathway.
It's a scary build to go up against as well. There's the triple missile turret now on the way for Dayshi. He's positioned his Widowmine on the very edge, so he is looking for that initial Banshee connection. But unfortunately for him, the first Banshee's not coming in from that angle.
No, it's not. It's coming from the top left because MMA went to the top left because he didn't even know where his opponent spawned.
Yeah. He sent the SCV down there and was like, ooh, guess not. All right, so
far, Dayshi equal in workers, but that will change.
Yes,
He'll start to take a bit of a lead here, depending on how this shapes up with the Banshee.
Third command center for MMA. Ooh, okay, so this is do or die time because that Banshee, if it goes around the wrong direction, that Widowmine might catch it, but there you go.
Yeah, so third command center for MMA, so he's not going to go for a push and will just build Hellions from this point. He's going to play mech.
Ooh.
MMA's decided to throw down a second factory here, and he's going to protect his economy lead off the back of 2 factories here, Tank and Hellion. And 2 kills, 3 kills.
Oh, that was a nice kill.
Good start so far for them. And then we actually see Dayshi playing Bio, so a switch of positions.
This Reaper, he doesn't have any opportunity to really jump in either and get full confirmation of that mech play, because there are 2 Marines situated to catch that.
Dayshi has the ability to kill MMA, or at least do significant damage before MMA's properly set up. It is hard when going for 3 command centers like this, because I'm imagining we'll see double armory, to have enough units to defend everywhere against drops. And if you don't defend one area, you could be in big trouble, man, if he pushes at you and is able to drop you somewhere. But Blue Flame is the choice, and Hellions, of course. Very good against Marines, especially with that combat shield, which is quite a way away.
Yeah, and you have quite a punch just in general with the initial 2 factories just churning away at these Hellions, so good. Well, it depends on how the siege tanks
and he'll probably go Viking too. Definitely doesn't want to allow any drops to get in, so I expect like Hellion Viking to begin with.
Going to start dropping these Hellions on this right-hand side eventually. There is a Widowmine over there, though.
This is nice.
Who's that scan from? It's from MMA.
MMA, yeah.
Sees the bio.
Yep. Sees it. He's not playing against Greed, so there should be a good-sized army from Dayshi. This Medivac may or may not get spotted. Depends how tight it is against the wall, and it's not that tight, so it will get spotted.
Yes, it will.
And it would be so nice if it was able to get in there to do damage with Blue Flame.
Is MMA paying attention? He could try and pull away, but no, he's not. So, does get spotted. That is nice for him. Repositions the Widowmine.
Not enough damage, I think. Just a little bit less.
Yeah, and he realized as well. I'm pretty sure he may have saw the little...
yeah, I think he did.
Splodge.
All right, so Daishi's getting obviously confident. He's got a good army. He plots down a 3rd. He knows he's playing... well, one would imagine he knows he's playing against mech. I'm not sure he does, though, yet. I don't think he's actually scanned and looked.
No, I don't think he's really seen anything.
No, technically not, but he will now when he sees Blue Flame. Or at least Hellions.
Yeah.
Now he does. Okay, so he wasn't sure, but now he is. Mech, 3rd command center down. Doesn't know about the upgrades. But it's time to start being a little bit bossy.
Yeah. Asserting yourself.
Yes. Stim is almost done. +1 attack almost done. If he finds a hole, especially as MMA is going to spread himself thin on 3 bases, Dayshi would find himself in a lead. That threat of 4 Hellions is still there, and it will drop inside the main base. And I think, you know, Dayshi's forgot about that a little bit, which is going to be actually quite deadly.
And MMA, I mean, spreading himself across these 3 bases on just
very greedy.
Yeah, on 1 siege tank. I mean, 2 more are just going to pop now, so he will have a few more. But still, Dayshi, if he focuses and hones down on 1 location, it could get scary here for MMA.
Yes, yes, it is. He's got 3 tanks now. Needs to position them well. Needs to find out what's going on. He has 3 Hellions. Sees the push out. So MMA is going to drop inside the main base and needs to defend. Otherwise, he's got to kiss goodbye.
Yeah.
He's actually going to sacrifice this base. Well, not sacrifice the base, but the location does not want to lose the base, though.
He's trying to catch some of these SCVs on the retreat out. He may end up loading up and just actually goes straight for the command center. The Hellions on the south haven't actually done anything just yet.
Here by Dayshi.
Double Seeker missiles going down on these siege tanks.
And he's able to defend against the 4 Hellions at home, too.
Okay, so how many workers got lost? He lost about 8 or so there.
And he dealt with the 4 Hellion drop. And he's got Marines on the 3rd, on the natural. Okay, they will be dealt with.
Yes, they will.
But, ooh.
I think he gets cleaned up pretty nicely in the end, considering.
If those 4 Hellions have done the damage necessary, which that was the plan, much better position for MMA. He was willing to lose a couple of SCVs and back off and do damage with 4 Hellions, but he didn't do the damage with 4 Hellions.
It would have been the game breaker.
Yeah, if he'd got into that mineral line, it would have been a different game, but still kind of equal. It was a nice move there.
Nice here by MMA as well,
Dayshi.
catching a siege tank as well as a few Marines in the middle of the map. Just even this out pretty nicely. I mean, he gets back over to his 3rd base. Workers 56 to 61 in favor of Dayshi at this point, but, well, Dayshi still needs to assert himself, as we were saying before. Still needs to find wiggle room.
Yeah. Good, really, I mean, I really do like the attempt of Dayshi there from the 3rd into the main, but it did get shut down. And MMA is able to bounce back and take his 3rd again.
And as such, he has a good siege tank count now. So
Dayshi's missing 2nd armory, 2nd engineering bay and armory at the moment. A little bit of a mishap, but I'm sure he'll correct that himself soon. Otherwise, he would drop behind in upgrades a lot. Something to look in the blue production tab. But MMA is now on 3 bases. That was the time of worry. It's past.
Yep. With 5 factories now kicking into production as well. He's going to be looking good to solidify all of these locations. It's not as much of a risk. Whoa. Dayshi. All right, then. All right.
Big switch.
That's allowed. We can
It's
allow
allowed. It can work. But if it's spotted, you're going to be in a bit of trouble.
Yes, you are.
And if a scan plops itself in the main base, expect the trouble to happen.
Especially also if he actually just goes straight to the main base with this drop that's going south right now. If he just bypasses the 3rd base, but he might try the 3rd base first.
High ground.
This trade's not terrible. Loses a few medevacs for that, though. Denies mining time, which is nice.
Dayshi going for a killer move here. This is such a killer move. Because he stopped upgrading. And that's the kind, it's, you know, I hate the word all in to say this, but this attack, this switch, if it doesn't work, he's in trouble.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't continue to upgrade, as you can see in the blue production tab. He's stopped, he's making a big switch in hope of catching MMA off guard to then win the game. That's
basically.
So it's a big move. It's a big, big move. Armory only just now being built. MMA still with no idea, but he's got to start thinking.
This is Dayshi.
What is he doing? Why is he not rallying and rallying and dropping and dropping and dropping? What is he doing?
This is Dayshi hoping that the kids who were expecting a rabbit to come out of the hat aren't surprised by the crocodile that comes out of the hat and is like, argh.
But MMA's pushing out anyway at a good supply. He's got +2 attack. And right now, he is hitting a timing which he doesn't know about.
Yes, exactly.
But he may sense because of the lack of activity from Dayshi, but still. This is a very powerful attack he's hitting. There's almost no bio.
He may even assume he's done way more damage with those Hellions than he's ever suspected to. I mean, the bio's going to come in from either side here. And
Dayshi's at his weakest right now.
Point
Look
defense,
at the supply.
Yeah, the point defense run actually ripped the army apart, just it alone.
And now he's got to reveal his cards when he's not really ready to do, as they pop out for the first time, which means position on the third is lost.
And 2 battle cruisers. I mean,
not going to do much.
No, it's not enough. Not enough. Hellbats are going to have their way with those SCVs. They get pushed off the line. And now MMA just asserts himself, whereas Dayshi should have been all game long.
Yeah, Dayshi definitely hoped that MMA would sit back a little bit more here, but that is not the case. The cards have been played, the battle cruisers have been revealed, and the third has already been hurt. But this gives MMA time to add on more starports and time to increase that Viking count. And he's already done critical damage to Dayshi, losing that third.
And the damage being done of revealing the cards as well. And it gives him so much room, as you were mentioning. Dayshi's running around ragged in the middle of the map with these SCVs, trying to find a way back home.
Yeah.
And that's a bit sad for them.
I mean, he will get back to mining on that third, but the disturbed mining time is so costly.
Yeah, oh yeah, look at that.
MMA knows he's on 4 bases versus a guy who's lost a lot, is now only taking his 4th. He's building turrets in case he gets pushed at. I'm surprised there's no additional starports. I think that's just MMA being lazy. But at this point, MMA is leading this, and quite convincingly.
Yeah, maxed out. He's just going to go for pushes on either side with Hellions, with Blue Flames. So this is going to really hurt him. What's great against battle cruisers that move at 0 miles an hour? Hey, Blue Flame Hellions trying to dart in and kill some workers. Any worker he gets here is a victory.
I really think MMA is underestimating this a little bit. There's more Vikings for Dayshi, and there's going to be more Vikings. And then battle cruisers being added in. Thors are being used. There will be +3 attack.
God, he's lost so many workers, though. He's down to 34 against 69. So, but you're right. I think that there we go. There's the 2 starports being added on for MMA.
Yeah, he was just lazy. Lazy MMA.
Oh.
All right. So at this point, these tanks become more and more useless as the game goes on. Obviously, because he's going to be emptying his supply to fill them back up with air. He's got such good upgrades. Dayshi's in a lot of trouble. It's just the battle cruiser switch and Viking switch is meant to be a surprise tactic that catches your opponent without the necessary air, because what he does have with playing mech is the upgrades. So as soon as he catches up and starts adding on more air of his own, you're in trouble. And he had to reveal his cards to survive in the game, otherwise he would have lost. And that's given MMA a lot of time here.
Yes, it has. And even if he pushes on here and trades away all of these siege tanks, it really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. As long as he looks for a little bit of damage, you know, but behind this, his production is going to be flying, quite literally.
One defense drone. Oh, no, it's a Banshee. Sorry, never mind. Goodbye, tanks.
Yeah, so long. Nice to know you. Sacrificial lambs.
Oh. Bio chasing these tanks. Gonna have to siege up again.
You know, actually, this isn't too bad a trade for Dayshi. If there was any way he could actually do something, it might be through this, but... And does he have the firepower in this sky? He actually forced to land at the Vikings because he realized he didn't have the numbers.
Yeah.
Weakening those
Dayshi's fighting back strong.
Losing a lot of those Vikings to the Thors on the ground. And that means now he's given up the proper air positioning. Loses out to the Vikings. The Thors and Vikings should be able to kill off quite a lot of these battle cruisers.
Epic!
Wow. Yamato versus Thors and Vikings. I'm loving it.
And Sky, Dayshi, Terran is dead after that epic fight. And MMA continues to have a furthered economy. He's got massive supply. He's got the air dominance. I'm going to say it again. Dayshi's in a bit of trouble here. He's still hanging on.
A little bit.
But what's next? I mean, what does he do next? Does he try to catch up? MMA's adding in Ravens. He's got extra command centers. He can take a 5th soon. Dayshi's terribly low in supply.
Yeah, he's got... Well, to be fair, he has caught up in terms of workers. So he's at 58 to, well, 77. But he was at 30-some. So kind of catching up a little bit in that regard.
Yeah. And this is, at the moment, this type of game for MMA is the best type of game. Because he's leading... He's, the probability of him losing this game is incredibly low. He can relax. He can chill out some more. Can bring his heart rate back down. And he enters the third map completely composed.
Yeah.
And that's something which a lot of people when watching StarCraft don't really think about. MMA's heart rate's probably low right now. He's just chilling. He's you know,
he knows how far he is ahead.
building battle cruisers and stuff. You know, he's in that kind of mentality. But Daishi's like, all right, like maybe, and he's stressing out because he's trying to get back in it, trying to find a way back in, and he enters the third game in a much more, you know, exaggerated and rocky state.
That's true. That is true. MMA is just playing whatever he wants right now. I mean, he's adding on tons of Ravens.
He's scanning everywhere. He's like, what do you have? Like,
yeah.
and then, I mean, he's scanning everywhere. He actually just did about 5 scans in a row, looked at the army, got Hellions in this
He's probably
base again.
very surprised that his opponent's still in the game. I mean, after losing what lost there, and knowing that how much damage he's done to his opponent's economy lines, he's going up to almost 100 worker kills here. That's 4GG bunny territory right there.
Yes, it is. But MMA is going to be very content with his army in the next couple of seconds once he hits 200 supply. And when that happens, he will march over there and take a fight that cannot be lost. It's a numbers game at this point. And once he does that, third game will happen. And I'm finding a difficult way for Dayshi to really start to switch this up. If you look at the units here, I mean, 7 Vikings to 20, 4 Ravens to 7.
Yeah.
3 tanks to 10. I mean, it is what it is, right?
I mean, he pretty much has more of everything apart from 2 battle cruisers.
And these Marauders, which won't really do anything because they can't shoot up. So here comes the fight, which MMA is very comfortable in. And this should be a game ender. And if Dayshi somehow survives this,
if only.
I'll eat a hat.
Oh, dear.
Here we go again. He's doing it again. I wish Apollo would stop saying he would eat hats. I've seen him eat a hat once in this WCS. He's probably going to do it again.
Let's just patch the game and make Marauders shoot up, yeah? That'd be great. All right, oh, a few Hunter-Seeker missiles fading out and fizzling and blowing up on the floor, not really doing too much. MMA now, just looking for victory. Looking, well, obviously, scanning everything and looking for victory through that. And that's a lot of Hunter-Seekers. Actually, with the tanks running under this.
Cheeky move there from Dayshi.
It's a nice attempt.
Seeker missiles on his own tanks as they run underneath. A nice attempt indeed. But time for you to get those tanks and Thors, buddy. Bring him into the mix for MMA to tie this series up. And we will be going to a Game 3 here, no doubt.
Yes, we will.
Game 3 will happen. And here's the last stand of the French player in Game 2.
And it's not going to be an easy one, unfortunately, as the rest of his army falls. Dayshi loses game number 2. GG MMA, as we now move on to that game number 3.
And that is a difficult type of game to lose for Dayshi as well, because he now says, whew, you know, this guy is pretty good. He wasn't, you know, maybe that was a fluke game 1. Maybe he's starting to overthink things a little bit here. But it's very important now for Dayshi to keep calm going into this game number 3. There's still a chance he can beat MMA. There's still a chance he can try and look for revenge against 4GG. But I'm going to repeat it again. It's going to be difficult for him.
Yeah, probably.
Altazim is the next map, which is a big map. So it's a big map. Big things can happen.
There you go. Good stuff. All right, there's the analysis for today's third game. As we'll be getting into it in just a little bit. But, you know, for MMA here, this is his road back now. This is his road back.
Yeah.
He's not meant to fall out in this position. He is absolutely not. He is meant to go on to the round of 16. But with 4GG lying in wait,
this is going to be an epic game. I'm pretty sure of it. It's going to be an epic game or it's going to be a walkover. I'm not sure which one yet.
Either one.
All right, Dayshi is ready straight away for this to rock and roll. He's keen. Who's going on to face off against 4GG? One player would make for a better matchup if we were to go from the first game of the day.
Yeah, that's true.
But, you know,
they should like revenge, I imagine, for the 18 maps he's lost in consecutive fashion against 4GG. All right, so both of these guys are ready. As we say, go and get into Altazim's stronghold.
Mech not as cool here to do.
Yeah.
It's difficult to keep the pace of the bio player down. Expanding all over the place. The middle of the map is open, which means the mech armies, when they collide, or mech army collides, it's going to be harder to pull off. So we might see a change of style from both. And even Refinery First, more difficult to play here, which MMA's used every time so far. It's a big map, so it's hard to get those aggressive units over there in time.
Well, countdown is finished. We're loading up. If anybody went for something absolutely crazy, then my mind will be blown in these first couple of minutes. So I'm expecting, you know, very, very kind of slow openers here in this match. We'll be getting into it in just a second. You got any predictions? You think MMA is going to take it?
He's more likely to take it than Dayshi.
He's more likely.
But it still can go either way.
All right, let's get into it. As we have now our third and final map between these guys. Spawning up to the top right, we have our blue Terran trying to fight for France, representing Millennium. It is Dayshi. And down to the bottom left, our red Terran, representing Team Acer. It's MMA.
Whew. All right. Not exactly sure what to expect. Bigger map suggests, you know, like a command center first or something, but that is risky to pull off against people on this map because they do like to go for Reaper builds, which I think is probably the best build for this map. You know, you jump at the opportunity of someone who goes command center first with Reapers.
Yep.
You still get a decent command center timing of your own.
Yep.
I think Refinery first is harder to make work because of the distances between them, so your units are going to get there a lot later, which gives the defending player a better chance. 15 gas can work as well.
At least one thing was going in favor of one of these if they did go command center first, and that it is cross spawn, so it'll take a little more, a little longer for someone to actually get a Reaper over there. But it's not going to be that. It's too much of a risk.
It's going to be Reaper or 15 gas, I would imagine, from both.
Yeah. There you go. Reapers.
Yeah. Reapers, Reapers, Reapers. Reapers, Creepers, Jeepers.
Yum, yum. It's the best way. Best way.
So from here on out, I would expect to see bio, but you know, mech's not completely out of the question because the size of the map also can benefit the mech player who can go for a longer time untouched and unharassed and can build that ultimate army and eventually make that death march, which is hard to stop. This is interesting. Second barracks coming in for Dayshi. So this is almost like an instant win versus command center first or even one barracks command center, and it can work against the Reaper opening.
Yes, it can.
Because what usually happens is if you spot that your opponent's doing this, if it's on a smaller two-player map, like if MMA was in the base now, he's like, wait, my orbital's like 15 seconds faster than yours. Wait a minute.
What's going on?
So then you think about it that way, and that's how to read into this, but it's going to be a lot more difficult for him to read into this. And also, after one Reaper, you usually switch over to Marines with a reactor, or build a second Reaper, depending on how you want to play it out. But you're going to get outnumbered. There's going to be 1, then 3, then 5, and depending on how much Dayshi throws into this, 7 Reapers potentially.
Yeah, it scales up quite dramatically. Dayshi's on the way with his first Reaper now. 2 more are in production. That SCV got stuck, unfortunately.
MMA's goal, if he knew what he was playing against, is get over to those Hellions ASAP.
Yeah, oh yeah.
ASAP here.
It's going to take him a while, though, especially after what we've seen here.
Dayshi now knows his opponent has a Reaper, and most likely is expecting it to be 1 Reaper to an expansion. It's going to be 2 versus 3, depending on where the Reapers are for MMA. Depends on how the fight will go. Obviously, if they're both at home defending from the high ground, it's easier. If they're in the open, he could be in trouble. And Dayshi is going to go with 3. 3 right now beats 1, as you can see.
Yes, it does.
And this means SCVs. This could be a loss for MMA here.
It could be. The factory is not going to be anywhere near completion.
The second Reaper's not there to help. He's so far away.
Uh-oh.
He's going to have to pull SCVs to help.
And that, in turn, is going to lose him mining time. He may even lose a lot of SCVs from that.
Wow.
The Reapers, they're on the way.
If he doesn't control this first Reaper instantly with the sickest reactions ever, he could lose the Reaper, the 1 Reaper. Then it's 3 Reapers to reign over everything.
MMA is going to see that second. Oh, no, he's actually not jumping up. He sees another Reaper. He's like, whoa, why is there another Reaper coming out?
Yeah, MMA's got to bring that Reaper home.
Oh, sick. He's actually under the factory. Wasn't letting it land on the reactor. That's a great decision there to stop any production from going on.
On the way.
Yeah, it has to land in the end. He has to move them away. The SCV is causing him a bit of a problem, but 5 workers have already gone down. Uh-oh, he's losing so much during this. And even if a Hellion pops out with this...
Dayshi!
Uh-oh, 10 workers have died.
4 Reapers in the base.
Uh-oh.
Hellions are about to pop, and they need to kill immediately.
Yes.
And if they get targeted down and miscontrolled...
If he just jumps out and heals up a little bit...
Okay. SCVs, 10 to 22.
Wow.
10 to 22.
That's
he cancels whatever that was, the starport. Oh boy,
Can't
oh boy,
afford
oh
that.
boy. And it's 2 command centers flat down as well for Dayshi. MMA survives,
And these Reapers
but is in a lot of trouble, man.
Yeah, the Reapers are going to try and find other angles, I would imagine.
And Dayshi's looking for a kill with Medivacs quite fast here, hoping that MMA just can't get to where he needs to be in time. So Stim straight away, he'll go straight up to Medivacs, 2 barracks, faster Medivacs here, get them out, drop them down, and he's hoping that, you know, MMA would not have enough to catch up and survive. But MMA has got to make a miracle comeback here. Otherwise, it's going to be Dayshi who gets another chance versus 4GG. This is a very hard position to play from.
Drops the scan. It's going to be all on Hellions. He sees that none of these gases have been continued to mine from.
Yeah, he's catching up in minerals. Oh, man.
This is tense.
This Hellion attack, or whatever MMA is trying here, is not going to work.
No.
Dayshi building a turret, actually, surprisingly. I'm not too sure why. Just safety. I guess he didn't click on the gases properly. Maybe thinks the starport is hidden somewhere with a tech lab on it and there's going to be Banshees. Very safe play. 5 turrets!
What
5? Overly safe play and not reading into the game.
The thing is he did click on those gases, but I guess he just didn't read
Well, there is 400 gas worth of, you know, gas missing.
Yeah.
So there could have been a very close starport on the way, but MMA is going to play greedy here. Third on location. 5 turrets, 500 minerals.
Jeez.
You know, that's a nice bonus there for MMA.
Yeah, to come back into things.
But the fact still remains, there's still 2 barracks pumping out units. They did stop for a second, and there's going to be, hopefully, you'd imagine, Medivacs actually. But he's actually going Cloak. I didn't see that. He's gone Cloak here.
Well, just started, so...
Well, this can work as well, considering they are, you know, MMA's cutting corners.
Yeah, you have to cut the corners of the missile turrets if you want to play this greedy from MMA. And the Reaper's going to head over there, spot around, and see the Hellions in that position and be like, well,
it's a weird position to be in.
Yeah.
And he probably can imagine there's a third.
He even gets past.
Oh, my gosh.
All right, well.
MMA scans, sees Banshees.
That's nice to pick up at least.
Yeah. And
quite a bit of that bio.
Base thrown down. MMA has to protect his economy with everything. Dayshi's going to walk over with Stim and look to stop this.
Yeah.
I think MMA would probably have to pick up his command center here. I can't see him holding that base.
I mean, just stay alive, right? Just stay alive somehow.
Yeah, stay alive. You can't really defend across 3 bases with so few units here.
More missile turrets being added on for MMA, actually, on his side of things, realizing that those Banshees are going to be a threat. They're going to be coming very, very soon. And MMA still in a little bit of a predicament, looking to get out of it, but he has caught up in terms of income quite dramatically.
Yes, he has with the extra help. But right now, if we look, he needs to defend these locations properly. This is going to be very hard. 1 tank and a few Hellions.
That siege tank needs to siege up. Oh, good volley
he's
there.
also scared of drops too, I think.
Yeah.
Well, he does evacuate. Oof.
Lag. All right, breathe, breathe.
Everyone breathe. Everyone take a sigh of relief. The game will continue on. It's not over.
Dayshi does not want lag in this spot. Is it me?
Probably.
What are you saying about French internet?
Just his. He's typing A because... Yeah.
Looks fine.
When there's lag, if you didn't know, if you type A, it will take like 2 or 3 seconds to appear. All right.
Thankfully, I have good internet, so I've never even had to... It's pretty good.
I've had that before, that problem. All right, so game continues on. MMA's catching back up in this game, but Dayshi's looking to try to stop this. Cloak activated. There are scans. Sorry, there is a scan.
Tries to poke away at this siege tank. Anything he can get with this Banshee is going to be great. Anything.
Pulls away. And pulls away, and the Banshee survives.
Oh, hello.
Big losses.
Don't stay there. Jeez. All right, that evened up things very nicely. Very nicely.
Yeah. 3rd command center coming in for Dayshi, and he's getting a couple of hits onto these units.
More poking.
The Banshee will die with 1 volley, but no scan yet. He needs to land that command center to actually scan.
It's going to run out of energy, so he has to run away. And pulls on back. With that 3rd now being taken from MMA, and I don't think there's any more way that Dayshi can pressure this. I think
Dayshi takes a 3rd and 4th here. Realizing that now the MMA, who is going to have to defend this 3rd and tuck himself in against Dayshi, who is technically in the lead with a lot of his tech, is going to throw a fourth down and just, you know, throw himself further in the lead the longer the game goes on. MMA, though, is about to launch these 3 or 4 Hellions.
Smart move, but...
Yeah, there's no SCVs on that third, though, so as smart as it is, it's not going to work.
Yeah, Bio's there ready to deal with that quite quickly. And for now, the double upgrades of...
Dayshi has his Banshee on this
lag
natural,
again.
by the way.
Yeah, trying to find some room. And it is in range of those missile turrets. Drops the scan and kills that off. It's a good cleanup in the end.
All right, MMA's caught up, though. He has caught up a little bit. Still behind in overall supply. A lot of army supply here. These 4 Hellions going to try and do something. Not much achieved there. Supply block, a heavy one from MMA. 89 supply. Woo!
Yeah. Actually,
no supply depots on the way.
Yeah, that really, really hurts.
That's a heavy supply block.
He actually has to supply drop. There is
Well,
no...
he just called all his mules down, so...
Oh, dear.
No, he's not. That's a big supply block.
Look how Dayshi is rocketing up now in terms of supply, and this is all because of that, pretty much.
Ooh.
Also,
Daisy.
yeah.
Well, oopsie MMA, not really oopsie Dayshi.
Yeah. There's a scan, sees everything.
Yeah, that's a big army, man.
That is.
Dayshi.
I mean, he's been allowed to get it. MMA has given him a huge window with this supply block.
I mean, MMA has no stim, he has no combat shields.
If he hit before stim now, I don't see how he
There's 4 tanks, which is very helpful in a defense, but this is strong. MMA is going to put the 4 Hellions in the middle line to buy some time and hopefully drag a bit of this back.
It would have to drag this back.
But I think that MMA could be losing the third here.
Yeah.
From a lead that was established very early on in this game.
It's a fantastic army.
Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Dayshi's looking at a revenge match. He might have to pull SCVs here.
MMA, how are you going to be able to hold on against this? He knew it was moving across because he saw a bit of that army moving. Finds a little bit of weakness on one of these siege tanks on the right. There's one so a sensor tower, it's not a turret. Ah, I saw it in production. I thought it was a... Oh, well. Oh, and he gets away.
It back. Dayshi looking to pounce.
At least he knows that that army's positioned right on his doorstep.
5 tanks. And he does see that tanks are there. He has a scan, has a look. Doesn't know if stim is done or not. He's going to swing around this left-hand side with the Banshee again.
I think he probably thinks it's too much to break with those 5 siege tanks.
Well, 1 scan and that Banshee's dead, so...
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Alright, doesn't lose a tank. Dayshi.
Fusion core in production again, Sean. But this is a position where if he just holds tight and he just kind of starts adding up the numbers, that fusion core could work wonders.
Both of them actually really interestingly scan the same position at the same time. Was the left 2 turrets. Like left. Like inside MMA's base left.
Okay.
Left.
What am I doing? Over here, you mean?
Those 2. Both of them scanned.
Yeah.
And Dayshi said, I can do it. But was spotted by a single Marine again.
Oh, poor fella.
Ooh. All right, the game goes on. But they are both... Well, that's interesting. A double army's coming in for the air switch.
Yeah.
They're both playing bio. Uh-oh. Is Dayshi going to go in?
Well, it looks like he is. There are a lot of Marines out of position, so they weren't really complementing the tanks perfectly, but this trade here, I think in the end, MMA will hold.
He holds. Does lose a bit, but it was a similar trade.
Yeah.
But MMA does hold his third, but this air switch, this time this is looking to work.
Yeah, because he's up in terms of supply so far. Where is he going with these medevacs?
I do not know, and that's a gift.
Fly away!
It's a massive gift.
Ah! Okay, so they decide that they don't want to die, or one of them does at least.
All right, so
MMA holds for now, but for how long?
Dayshi holds on to his lead as MMA holds on to his third. And this big switch, it's gonna play nice. It's gonna play nice. It's gonna be really good. It's very difficult because, especially the way that Dayshi's doing it with bio and tanks, is that the battle cruisers. Oh, scan!
What did he scan?
The base. He sees the switch.
Did he?
Yes.
Oh! Why is it right in the middle? I never really looked at the positioning of it, but there you go.
He sees the switch. There's a drop on this right-hand side by MMA. He was going to try and get some damage bomb, but he sees the switch, and MMA starts 3 starports, holding on to this game by the skin of his teeth.
So this means this game could have ended in like the next 10 minutes or so, but this could go a lot longer with both of them now committing to the air style.
Yeah.
But Dayshi still has a lead.
Dayshi's got a lead. He's got 1-1 upgrades coming in for his air, which is going to help out in any air fight, and he also has a 4th. MMA is looking to move out at the moment. He has more Marines and more tanks because of the switch again.
Yes, he does.
So there is a chance. He doesn't have the upgrades. Oh, no, he does. He actually has better upgrades, too, I think. Yeah.
He's complementing the siege tanks nicely.
He's at 2-2.
On his
when
bio.
The bio of Dayshi's at 1-1.
If he hit a window again, but I don't think he's going to feel too confident to. He drops the scan, he sees these battle cruisers in position with the army, and he pulls straight on back. 15 Marines in production for Dayshi.
If he pulls back, he needs a fourth, and he needs to start thinking of a plan himself. And he's still committing to like tank bio. I mean, yeah, tank bio, Marine, and tank. And he's not really using the 3 starports yet. He's getting reactors on them, so he will add Vikings in. But right now, he's kind of strong, I think, against this.
Yeah, he's making such a strong army all the time. Once again, MMA supply block, 3 supply depots. And
there's only 2 battle cruisers, and as much as they will last a lot of hits, if everything else dies underneath them, they will be targeted down fast. And MMA is set out beautifully here.
Oh, this is a great concave.
Look at the mini-map.
This is a great concave to greet this. The 2 battle cruisers walk forwards. They're trying to bait out a little bit of this to move forwards into his siege line. Small clump of this bio on the left-hand side, tries to stim forwards, has to pull back, realizes his opponent's concave too good.
Ooh, beautiful tiptoeing between the both of them here.
Yeah, very nice so far. Very, very cautious.
Yeah, on the edge of siege tank line always.
Realizes that the bio is on the right-hand side, doesn't want to get stimmed and killed off the Vikings.
4GG, I'm not so sure, 4GG. Dayshi's mining from 5 bases now, right and left flank. MMA is still only on these 3.
Scans everywhere. He realizes where his opponent is. If he divides and conquers, this is actually good. He isolates a lot of this bio on the right-hand side. Does Dayshi a good chase back, forces a stim.
Yeah, really good, because Dayshi holds the middle with all those tanks.
Yeah.
So the other units can't help out. But remember, there are 2-2 versus 2-1.
Trades quite a bit of this off. Dayshi plummets in terms of supply. MMA resupplies quickly. Behemoth reactor on the way for the battle.
Better upgrades by MMA on that right-hand side. And now he attacks in as Dayshi was unsieged.
This is a great move here by MMA. There goes pneumatic cannons to kill off a little bit of this. But you already lost so much of the army as well. MMA crushes through it.
And is about to have 3-3 upgrades. Is about to have 3-3. And now Dayshi's scrambling everything he can get. Currently only has 18 Marines. Opportunity of a lifetime for MMA, who has been playing from behind since the majority of this. This is insane. He's switching over. He's coming for a counterattack. Dayshi's got like 1,000 command centers.
This is the opportunity for MMA. That one medevac trying to run home to Dayshi is the messenger, and he now knows that on his doorstep is this army trying to kill off what he can at the front. Dayshi in a lot of trouble.
Oh man, he's resupplied fast for sure, but he's lost 2 command centers. His army is being exposed here, and MMA, he's just rallying over. Realizes there is a clear opportunity for a kill and a movement through, despite this really shouldn't have gone his way.
The red mist has descended on MMA. He's looking for the killing blow as he pushes forwards into this 3rd base. He knows a lot of his opponent's army down to the bottom right is there as he drops the scan and realizes. So he's going to take this a little bit slower, knowing that his opponent could still remax, still get a good concave.
Oh my gosh, this is insane. This is absolutely insane that this has been able to happen here. The mining bases for Dayshi are exposed, but MMA, I don't think he knows about that one on the left-hand side. He's just going for the kill, and with the superior upgrades on the bio.
This could be it. This could be it. A lot of the bio pushing through. Siege tanks as well. Not even in siege mode, just going straight for the jugular as now Dayshi sitting on top of his production facility as well. Drops the scans. MMA is looking for blood as he takes down siege tank after siege tank, factory after factory, more and more rallying across, and Dayshi, he is down and out right now.
MMA just looked dead in the water throughout today. He's turned it around like he turned his career around, Kalaris, from the bottom to the top. That is MMA right now.
Here comes the killing blow. It's almost done. Dayshi looked to claw his way back, but it was not enough. He played valiantly, but MMA played that much more better in these last 2 games, killing off the battle cruisers on top of the production. Dayshi's in disbelief. He can't deal with it.
I think everybody's in disbelief. This is an absolutely insane comeback from MMA, and it just shows his class. Brilliant. We never gave up, never surrendered throughout all of this game. Is now the player on 5 bases, is marching to victory here. And like you said, Dayshi must be in disbelief. Cannot believe this has happened.
What a TVT, what a series, what a game we have witnessed. Kneel before my TVT. GG. MMA advances on to the final game of the night, and regardless of what happens, one Korean will be advancing to the round of 16.
That was impressive from MMA. And now he goes on against 4GG. Now is the ultimate test. Funny enough, these guys between them, 4 wins apiece.
Yeah.
They trade wins left and right when they play against each other offline or online. This is going to be a good Terran versus Terran. You've got the expert, the god of TVT, which is 4GG, against an MMA who's looking to further himself within the WCS.
Certainly is. All right, join us after the break, guys, when the final series of the group concludes. It's going to be either 4GG or it's going to be MMA.